was loading up, and I was like, oh, I got a second. I'm still loading. And the minute I go to adjust the mount, it stops on. So if you saw me go, sorry about that. This is Coach Lou on the live drive. Good Thursday to you guys. Remember a couple weeks ago we were talking about excuses and busting through excuses and stuff. Well, got one for you of my own. Last month, the month of June, as I wound out of May, I was like, ooh, I want to do that 100-mile in a month goal for trail running. And, I was going to do that in June, and I was going to publicly, say that on, live drive-in or on the show, etc. And I'm like, yeah, and then I started with I got a lot coming up this month, so I didn't acknowledge it publicly. I didn't put it out there. I didn't make it a must. Ended up at 60 miles of random running last month. But that's really, when you talk about, the power of goals and committing, wow, you got to do it. Well, now it's July, which is like July and August are our hottest months here in Florida. If you live here, you know this. If you don't, wherever you're probably the hottest months. Well, they're even hotter here. So I gotta commit to this. The other day I'm like, if I don't make a commitment in front of somebody else and put it down on paper and set it as a goal, it's gonna happen like it happened last month. I'm not gonna follow through and do it. And some people might go, my God, but you made 60 miles. That's great, and that is awesome. But it wasn't quite enough. If I had set the goal for 100 and made 90, it would have propelled me a whole lot closer. I would have felt like a whole lot more success, or if I'd done 110, whatever. But I didn't have something to really gauge myself with each day, each week. And this is what I'm encouraging you to do. So I'm making this public commitment that July is my month to do 100 miles in the month. It's going to kick butt. It's not going to be easy. But what's easy? What's worth having that's so easy in life, right? So I'm going to step up and do that. But what are you going to step up and do in this month of July? It's July 1st. What are you going to do this month that you've been kind of putting off, or saying, oh, I should, or, I'm trying, or all the words that don't really create full success? Getting by, I heard it put really, really eloquently by Grant Cardone, that getting by or being poor is being selfish. And I'm like, I've always, for years and years growing up, we always heard, oh, if rich people are selfish, they're greedy, they're this. Well, let me ask you a question. If you're poor and you can't even feed your own kids, how do you help the world, right? If you're just getting by, how do you help anybody else? How do you create a better something for you and somebody else? So I was like, yeah, that is pretty cool. So you've got to go up and above, or else you're selfish. If you're just getting by or just making it, you're selfish, because all you're thinking about is you. What a concept that was. So this morning I'm like, well, I could, go, it's July. There's no way I want to do this crazy goal in July because it's so hot. And then I'm like, well, that's awfully selfish. Selfish against myself, number one, because think how much better my health would be after 100 miles this month. But it's also selfish to not use it as a tool to help motivate you and go, hey, if this nutbag can do 100 miles in the heat of summer, what can I do, right? So these are things that I encourage you to, bust through the excuses, put them down, and realize, success is not being greedy. Success gives you the opportunity to do great things, where lack of success, that's truly selfish and greedy. Because your focus is only on you. And that was really impactful, and it's not my creation, but I took that to heart and said, you know what, I gotta succeed in more areas so I can help more people. Or else, if I'm just focused on getting by and just keeping kind of healthy and just occasionally doing a show, or trying to market my own product, that's selfish. There's so much more. There's so much more here and here that I have to deliver to you. Well, let me get it out there. Thinking of adding another show on each week, which, I could go, oh God, I don't have time for what I'm doing as it is. Making time. But I'll talk more about that with you later, because I got an idea that's kind of growing into something, and I'm like, yeah, another area of life I can help everybody with. All right, so that's my public commitment on the drive-in, the live drive, going in to train some clients, and it is first of the month, so I'm going to have to kick it off with a heck of a run. And supposed to not rain until about 1 o'clock here, which would be good, even though the clouds look awfully thick already. So you guys live with faith, energy, passion, always live your dreams, and start stepping up to